The Food and Drug Administration has been given the green light to finally approve COVID vaccines for children under the age of 5, which means there are a lot of toddlers who are about to be popping apple juice in the club. It's just like, I got a diaper, I'm going all night, bitches. And this is also very good news for Herschel Walker, because statistically, 1 out of every 5 kids in America is secretly his. No, but for real, this is great news for parents of young children, because while the rest of us, got vaccines and went back to normal, a lot of parents were stuck in pandemic mode with their unvaccinated kids. Yeah, they were just staring out the window at everyone else having fun. And it was like, oh, they're going to the movies again. Oh, I should have used a condom. Now, of course, if you're not a parent, this is the worst news ever. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely noticed that over the past 2 years, I haven't heard any kids throwing tantrums in the supermarkets. There's been no toddlers kicking my seat in the movie theater. And there were basically no children screaming on airplanes. Yeah, only those crazy Trump supporters who didn't want to wear masks. Wah! 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 Want my mommy? But just because COVID is on the back foot right now, it doesn't mean it's not still putting up a fight.
Dr. Anthony Fauci has tested positive for COVID. The 81-year-old chief medical advisor to President Biden is fully vaccinated, double boosted.
He is currently taking the antiviral treatment Paxlovid. The 81-year-old is only experiencing mild symptoms. We are told he has not been in close contact with the president and will now work from home.
That's right. Dr. Fauci has COVID, which feels a little like finding out Smokey Bear got trapped in a forest fire. It's like, damn. I'm actually surprised that Fauci is only getting COVID now and didn't get it while he was with Trump every day. Well, think about it. Every single day, Trump was like, okay, COVID task force, we're gonna kick off today's meeting by breathing in each other's mouths for 10 to 15 minutes just to get the energy flowing. Anthony, come here, Anthony. Open that beautiful mouth, Anthony. Open it wide. Open it wide. And you know the saddest part, Dr. Fauci? And yes, I'm talking to you, Dr. Fauci. I know you watch the show. It's the fact that you didn't come to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah. The president was there, Kim Kardashian was there, but you didn't come because you said you didn't want to catch COVID. And then you caught COVID anyway. Yeah, probably from some boring government meeting. And you see, let me tell you something now, people. That's my philosophy in life. I'm vaccinated. So if I'm getting COVID, you best believe I'm doing it in style, okay? Yeah, I'm not going to get it from some bitch-ass PowerPoint presentation. No. People will ask me, Trevor, where'd you get your COVID? And I'll be like, oh, that was one hell of a night. Oh, damn. Best believe. I will say, though, what a big moment for COVID as well, huh? To finally infect Dr. Anthony Fauci. I bet COVID was really starstruck when it got in his body. Oh my God, oh my God! Oh my God! It's really you! It's really you! Wow, I'm so excited! I need to catch my breath! Oh man, Dr. Fauci, I'm inside you! This is so crazy! Hold on, I gotta FaceTime my boys! Hey, yo, guess whose lungs I'm in? I know, and somehow I'm still taller than him! This is crazy! Ah! Okay. Let's move on from the pandemic in people's lungs to the pandemic in America's democracy. Today was the third day of the January 6 hearings, aka VH1's Behind the Riots. Now, this session focused predominantly on Mike Pence, former vice president and the inspiration behind the white noise machine. Because you see, Trump's entire plan to overturn the election hinged on Mike Pence agreeing to break the law by not certifying the election results. And today, we heard what might be the funniest recounting of the conversation that Trump actually had with Mike Pence, where the vice president would not agree to Trump's scheme no matter how hard the Donald tried.
In the book Peril, journalists Bob Woodward and Robert Costa write that the president said, quote, "If these people say you have the power, wouldn't you want to?" The vice president says, quote, "I wouldn't want any one person to have that authority." The president responds, but wouldn't it almost be cool to have that power? Vice President is reported to have said, no, look, I've read this, and I don't see a way to do it. We've exhausted every option. I've done everything I could, and then some, to find a way around this. It's simply not possible. My interpretation is no. To which the president says, no, no, no. You don't understand, Mike. You can do this. I don't want to be your friend anymore if you don't do this.
Yo, oh man, you know, this is the paradox of Donald Trump. Like this is really the paradox. Like he has the most terrifying schemes in the world, but he executes them in the most hilarious ways. Because Trump basically, he lives his entire life as if he's the bad kid in one of those anti-smoking PSAs. You know, he's like, come on, Mike, just try overturning the election. I thought you wanted to be cool. Also, by the way, if there's one person who you can't entice with cool, it's Mike Pence. He's the least cool man in the world. The man wouldn't even watch the Teletubbies because they don't wear pants. And you know what's crazy about the story? Because Trump said it like this, because he said it like this, you actually believe that is true, right? Because if the reporting was that Pence said, sir, we cannot do this, and then Trump said, my interpretation of the Constitution offers ample precedent, both legal and historical, people would be like, yeah, there's no way that happened. That didn't happen. That's not real. But I don't want to be your friend anymore. You're like, yeah, that's my dude. That's my dude right there. That sounds like him. I also find it crazy that Trump thought they were friends. Not co-workers, not acquaintances, friends. How would that even be possible? What do Pence and Trump have to bond over, huh? They're just hanging out on the weekend, like, thanks for bringing me to this club, Mike. The music's a little lame, but the ladies are looking good. Mr. President, it's church. Oh, that's why it burned when I walked through the door. Totally get it, totally get it. All right, but let's move on to some international news. Here in America, global supply chain issues have caused shortages of everything from tampons to baby formula and even PlayStation 5s, which sucks, because now I have to play Elden Ring in my head. Damn, this is so hard! But it turns out the global supply chain also affects the globe. And right now, in Pakistan, the supply chain is coming for an integral part of their daily life.
Pakistani tea drinkers remain divided a day after a government minister urged them to cut down on their daily hot beverage as the country struggles with an economic crisis. Pakistan's Planning and Development Minister says it's getting increasingly expensive for the country to import tea as supplies outstrip demand.
Tea is a hugely popular drink in the country of 220 million people, and the government has to spend about $600 million on tea imports every year. The average person in Pakistan is believed to drink at least 3 cups of tea a day, but the minister called for people to drink 1 or 2 cups less per day, sparking outrage.
I knew it. I knew this would happen. Yeah, people have been running around spilling the tea for the past few years, and now look, there's a shortage. Are you happy, Shade Room? Are you happy? By the way, I love how they mix the tea. The rest of us do tea boring. We're just like, They're like, wow, wow, wow. And I know people can get outraged about anything, but I'm not going to lie. It is kind of funny to hear a story about anyone getting outraged over tea. No, because you always think of tea drinkers as very calm, tranquil people, you know? But here they're like, you can take my Earl Grey out of my cold dead hands! It's so wild. It's like seeing Tom Hanks dropping the F-bomb. I mean, that's where you know you up, you know what I mean? But when you understand how popular tea is in Pakistan, it makes sense. Right? All of the outrage makes sense. This is part of their national identity. It's like asking France to cut out croissants or North Korea to stop launching missiles at dolphins. That's just what they do. And I don't know if Pakistan will give up tea. I mean, they wouldn't even give up bin Laden, you know? But too soon? I will say this, Pakistan's government has to be careful about this. Yeah, tea shortages are no joke. Just look at America. You see what happens When your people get pissed off about tea, yeah, first there's a tea party, then there's a revolution. Before you know it, there's a Great Depression, then you're fighting Vietnam, no one can afford houses, and suddenly you're making a movie where Ryan Gosling is Bobby. Ah! Don't do it, Pakistan. All right, finally, cities all over the world are always trying to find ways to encourage people not to litter. In Japan, they use collective shame. In Singapore, they'll just whip your ass. In New York, we've just made the entire city one big trash can, so technically it's not even possible to litter. But in Sweden, they've come up with something that might be the most effective method yet.
Talking dirty in Sweden, literally. A Swedish city has launched a campaign to encourage people to throw away their trash.
Yeah, a couple of trash cans have been installed and are programmed to respond with seductive audio messages after somebody throws away their trash.
Tack. Precis där, ja. Lite mer till vänster nästa gång. Det där var galet skönt. Mer. Kom snart tillbaka och gör det där igen.
Well, I guess now we know what it's like when Oscar the Grouch gets his on. I did not see that coming. Just by the way, all the guys who are using that trash can, I hope you know that it's faking it, right? There's probably dudes walking away thinking, oh, I throw good trash. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's actually funny how stupid men are. We're such simple, stupid creatures. This would never work on women. On men, it works. Yeah, like we can wear as many ties as we want, but we're just basically stupid animals responding to a mating call. You put a sexy woman's voice, and you can literally get men to do anything. You realize we're being catfished by garbage cans, right? And we can see that they're garbage cans. But then we hear that sexy voice and we're like, well, maybe. Not to mention, this is gonna undo a lot of parental lessons about littering. Some 10-year-old boy is gonna be like, Mommy, I'm going to throw away my empty cup. And the mom will be like, no. Just throw it in the lake, It's better that way. You're not ready. And you know who this really isn't great for? Is your trash can at home. Yeah, because when it finds out what you've been doing out there in the street, oh, it's gonna get super jealous. Well, you're home late. Probably because you were out on the street shoving your trash into that whore again. You know that anyone can throw trash there, anyone. You're not special. I want a divorce, and I'm taking the rotten banana peels with me. Ah! All right, that's it for the headlines. But before we go, let's check in on traffic with our very own Roy Wood Jr., everybody. Yeah. What's up, man? What is happening, Roy?
Yes, Lord.
Weekend's coming up. What's going on in the traffic?
Yes, Lord, man. I'm just looking at all these rich people out there on the road, man. Gas, $10 a gallon. Being stuck in traffic, that's the new balling right there. I don't care nothing about your jewelry. Tell me how long you was in traffic today. Like if a woman wanted to meet a rich dude, just go stand on the freeway. Go stand right here. This is Boston. That's what. Yeah, just go stand on the freeway in Boston. Them rich people, look at all them rich people, man.
You think that traffic is a flex?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Traffic ain't for no broke bitches. This is strictly for ballers right there, man.
All right, what's going on in the traffic?
Yeah, I'll get to the traffic in a second, man. You know, what's good about the infant thing, like I know people, some people don't want to vaccinate infants or whatever, but
oh, yeah.
I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing if you give the vaccine to the baby, because now they got the microchip in them and no more kidnappings. Now we know where all the kids will be, and we can track them down, because once you get the vaccine, you get the microchip. And
no, there is no microchip. Where did you hear this?
Did you enjoy the ramen you had last night on 41st Street? I think you were there from 7:30 to 9:15, and then when you left, you went southbound down 9th Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. You vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's an app. It's an app where it links you with other people. Who has the like? Don't look at me like I'm stalking you. I'm not stalking you. The app told me where you was. It's the vaccine tracking app. You ain't got the vaccine tracking app?
I don't have the vaccine tracking app.
Well, I got the app.
What's happening in the traffic, Roy?
You know what's really messed up about the tea?
Okay.
The tea over there in Pakistan?
Yeah.
Like with the tea shortage, that's gonna throw off the balance of the Arnold Palmers in Pakistan. You ever had an Arnold Palmer and the balance ain't right? That'll piss you off. Too much lemonade, too much tea, it's the wrong. You got to have the Arnold Palmer just perfect amount. Watch you see if the Al Qaeda get a hold of some imbalanced Arnold Palmers. They're like, oh, we got to go blow something up. They're gonna be mad. Okay, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, dog.
All right, what's happening? Tell me about the traffic, though.
What do you want me to tell you about the traffic? I already told you. Rich people going and doing rich people.
Yeah, but like which roads are blocked and which ones are open? It's important, man.
Let me ask you a question. If your friend, let's say you had a friend, right? Let's say you had a homeboy, y'all cool, real good friend, right? Mm-hmm. And you go over his house, and he got one of them sex trash cans. Y'all would still be cool, right? Like if you knew somebody that had like ordered one of these sex talking cans, the freaky deaky trash can. Like if you went over your friend's house and he had the freaky deaky trash can.
Yeah.
You wouldn't judge him for having a
Roy, did you order one of the sex trash cans?
No, I didn't order no sex trash can with custom, with custom phrases. I didn't do that.
I didn't say anything about custom phrases.
I didn't say nothing about custom phrases either. I gotta go throw something away. I'll be right back. I gotta throw something away.
I'm suspicious. I was really suspicious. All right, thank you so much, Roy.